What up, what up? 大家好，我是唢呐。We're back for another episode of Cypher Blast. On this episode, we have a video from one of my favorite artists. This man turned hip-hop upside down. He is considered one of the most influential, highest selling artists of all time. And his name is Kanye West, aka Yeezy, aka Ye. Hey. There's so many AKAs, it's ridiculous. All right, let's go down some very important shit because Kanye West is considered the GOAT. Do you know what the GOAT is?
Yeah.
The GOAT is an acronym for greatest of all time. His music, his creative output is undeniable. So, Kanye West grew up in Chicago, which is also the birthplace of house music.
Yeah?
Yeah, actually, the weird thing is, he was born the same year that The Warehouse, which is where house music was born, was actually created. They're the same year.
Oh, what is house music?
So, house music is another part of black culture, black music, that pretty much is like, most people call it EDM, but it's not really EDM, that's its own thing.
Yeah.
But house music is just what we call four on the floor. It's boots, boots, boots,
yeah.
Boots. So if you say like, hip hop music is when black people have something to say, like, yo, we gotta talk. House music is like, oh no, baby, just dance it out. Just let it go. It's all good. It's like hip hop. We gotta talk, motherfucker. House music is like, why so serious? Disco dancer.
Oh, now I know.
And knowing is half the battle.
How I know?
And knowing is half the battle.
G.I. Joe.
But yeah, Kanye West actually used a lot of house music sampling techniques and house music productions in his song.
That don't kill me, can only make me strong.
He started out as a producer. There's actually video of him. He has this thing called Sunday service. He performs at churches. He gets like full-on choir. He's got a sampler and he's doing that shit live. And there's one video where he's turning the fuck up, playing house music at church, and people are going bananas. He has since left the mainstream hip-hop scene. In the religious world, you have secular music, which is mainstream music, and non-secular is considered godly music. So he has made a formal statement that he has left secular music and he's only going to create music for God. So that's why his last album, Jesus is King, was all gospel music.
You must turn to banana. You say that people turn to banana. What's that mean? That become Asia?
Where did I say that when you thought it was banana?
People are going fucking bananas.
You say he played house music in a church and everybody turned to banana.
Oh, like the dancing banana, like the peanut butter jelly time, peanut butter jelly time.
Peanut butter jelly time, peanut butter jelly time. Where you at? Where you at?
But yeah, because at that time, hip-hop music was mainly what you had was called the boom bap era, right? And a lot of it was influenced by gangster culture, gangster rap. And Kanye West kind of brought it to a different level. He was like, no, I'm not a gangster. I don't come from a gangster background. I want to make hip-hop music, pop music. I want to make it where everyone can participate. You don't have to be gang. I want to talk about real shit. I want to talk about fashion. I want to bring all these different elements from different cultures into hip-hop music to make it something bigger. That's what he did. Like, that's something that you cannot deny him, is he really brought hip-hop to another level. And he's not just a rapper or producer, he's a fashion designer. He designed shit for Louis Vuitton, for Nike, The Gap, Adidas. He had his own presidential campaign this year. He was running against Donald Trump. He was running for president. He was on the ballot. You could have selected, hey, I don't want to vote Trump. I don't want to vote Biden. I want to vote Kanye. Yeezy. He is one of the world's best-selling music artists and has won 21 Grammys, 10 albums, and 6 of those albums have made the list of greatest albums of all time.
He's like legendary.
Dude, he's legendary. But he actually started rapping in the 3rd grade.
What?
And he started producing music in the 7th grade. This is when internet 刚好出现, so it's not like you could 买一台电脑在做音乐. Like, you had to actually have an MPC. Like,
what?
Yeah, dude. And because he didn't come from a gang background, his dad was a Black Panther, his mom was an English professor, and he actually spent time in Nanjing. So he had a very interesting background. His mother always encouraged him to embrace different cultures, to think outside of just black and white in terms of colors of black and white.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. His first album is considered like the stuff of legend because right when he was about to decide he wanted to do an album, he got in a really bad car accident, which almost killed him, actually.
Yeah.
And it caused him to break his jaw in several places, and they had to wire his jaw shut in order to keep it in place. And you know what he did? He was like, "F that, I'm gonna rap." So his first song that he ever released on the album, College Dropout, because he dropped out of college to do music.
Yeah.
His first song is him rapping with his jaw wired shut, and it became a hit.
Who's for breakfast and insure for dessert? Somebody order pancakes.
So people were like, "Damn, this guy's gonna be somebody."
那他为什么人家会喜欢他第一个专辑？
The thing is that Kanye at his heart, he is a producer, and he has this philosophy. He says, if my rhymes can be at least 70% as good as my beats, and my beats are dope as fuck, then I'll make it. All I need to do is make my lyrics, my rhymes 70% as good as what my beats are. Because you have to remember, he was a pretty well-respected and critically acclaimed producer at the time.
Oh.
So he's like, if I can get at least 70 to 80%, I'm good, I'll make it. Because I can do shit that not everyone else can do.
This ain't no fucking game for me. They try to classify me as a producer. I'm focusing on rhyming now. I'm gonna be the best.
Here's the thing, it's like whenever he came into hip hop, he got a lot of pushback because everyone's like, "Man, you ain't gang. Why you fucking popping your collar and talking about all this shit that ain't even gang?" He's like, "No, I'm not gang. I don't want to be gang. I want to do some different shit." And 50 Cent, who was like the big gangster rapper at the time, challenged him. He said, "All right, well, let's see. Our album is coming out on the same day. I dare you, see if you can sell more than me."
Yeah.
And he sold him more than double. He debuted at ¡1, dude.
Oh.
Yeah. So Kanye proved that you didn't have to be gang to
So
be
he is
hip-hop.
100%.
I'm $1, motherfucker. So the song we are going to introduce and we're going to go over is Power. And this song is a very important song for Kanye West and for hip hop and pop music for several reasons. Reason number one is before this album came out, Kanye was in a bit of trouble. Kanye was at the height of his career after his first 2 albums. Okay, he was unstoppable. He was considered the shit. Everyone wanted to fuck with him. And then his mom passed away. And then 3 months later, his fiance, who had been with for almost 2 years, broke up with him. And then on top of that, he had said some shit at the music video awards. He said George Bush don't care about black people.
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
And that caused people to lash out against him.
Yeah.
And then several years later, he was at the Video Music Awards where Taylor Swift and Beyonce were both nominated for Best Female Video. And Taylor Swift won. And as Taylor Swift is going up to the stage and preparing to accept her award and give her a speech, he jumps on the stage and he says this.
But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time.
That's gangster.
He said that and everyone was like, Kanye. He lost his tour, he lost some sponsorships. He was pretty much the most hated person in music at that time. So he had to go away.
Oh.
And he disappeared for I think almost 2 years. And when he came back, everyone was like, is he gonna be able to be as good as he was before? It's been a long time.
Yeah.
And he came back with this song and flipped everybody on their head. They're like, whoa.
That's $1.
Better before.
Yeah.
So what I hope that you can take away from this is how you do the 我想高我想排位机器手厉害, but you do it in a way that 1, you can actually back it up, and 2, in a very artistic, lyrical way. It's not just the same stereotypical lyrics over and over.
Okay.
So we're gonna review 4 seconds of the best bars of Power. And remember, if you have not heard this song, click the link down in the description and listen to this song in its entirety because it is dope as fuck.
Okay.
So let's get straight into it.
I'm living in that 21st century, doing something mean to it.
All right, so in this line, he says, I'm living in the 21st century, doing something mean to it.
Do it better than anybody you ever seen do it.
Do it better than anybody you ever seen do it. All right, so first of all, 21st century, we love 21st century. You know there's a special place in our heart. Yo, was it 风味馆? Hook that shit up, son. We are your best. I'm black. Black people like chicken, man. Come on.
You can still stereotype.
Yeah. Help us to promote borderline negative stereotypes with 风味20 or 风味馆. Anyway, but no, this 21st century is also talking about the 21st century. These are the first lyrics that come out. And he's like, I'm back, bitches. So when he says, I'm living in that 21st century, doing something mean to it, he's like, in this century, I'm doing it better than anybody else. And that's why he says, do it better than anybody you ever seen do it.
Screams from the haters, got a nice ring to it.
Then in the next line it says, screams from the haters, got a nice ring to it.
I guess every superhero need his theme music.
I guess every superhero needs his theme music. This is dope because he's saying, I hear all the screaming and all the bullshit from the haters. It actually sounds pretty good. In English you say, oh, that has a nice ring to it. 那听起来蛮舒服的。
Nice ring.
Nice ring. 听得很爽。
应该那个 porn nice ring 吗？
Who's listening to the music in porn? Me. But what he's saying is all these haters keep talking shit. It sounds good. And then the next line he says, I guess every superhero needs his own theme music. So he's saying, you know what? I'm going to take all this shit you're saying and use it as my theme music because I'm a goddamn superhero.
Oh, hey, that's good.
That's dope as fuck.
Good.
That's how you say, what's your
That's good. That hater 的 scream 变成我的 theme song.
Theme song. Not just my theme song. I'm a goddamn superhero. It's my superhero theme song.
That's
you know
a
what
really
I mean?
good one.
That's cool as fuck.
Yeah.
So no one man should have all that power.
So this is actually the chorus of the song, and it's a very strong chorus.
Yeah.
Right? This is the part that when people hear this song in clubs, they will sing this part. It says, no one man should have all that power.
The clock's ticking, I just count the hours.
The clock's ticking, I just count the hours. What he's saying is, at the time, he was one of the most powerful people, celebrities in America. And when he says no one man should have all that power, he's pretty much saying that they're not going to let me, a black man in white America, be this powerful for too long. So that's why in the next line he says, the clock's ticking, I just count the hours. He's like, it's only a matter of time before this industry tries to find a way to f me over. Because they realize I'm becoming more and more influential, more powerful. But because I am who I am, I know the clock is counting down. Most people count the seconds, count the minutes. I only see the big picture. I count the hours. If you were thinking I don't have much time left, I'm thinking I have this much amount of time to do shit done. It's like he sees the positive, whereas smaller people think the negative. What he's trying to say is he sees in a way that most people don't see. Again, he's trying to say how badass he is.
Stop tripping, I'm tripping off the power.
So in this line, he says, stop tripping, I'm tripping off the power. Or this one sentence has so much meaning with wordplay.
Yeah.
First of all, have you ever heard the term tripping before?
Tripping 就是呛了啊，懵了啊。
Kind of, yeah. Tripping can mean like, man, you tripping. Why are you talking that bullshit?
Yeah.
Tripping is like, are you crazy? Like, are you out of your mind?
Yeah.
But it also means in this, because he's talking about power, right?
Yeah.
He says, stop tripping, I'm tripping off the power. In electrical circuitry, you have what's called your power box in a typical home. Now, when there's too much electricity going through the box and it becomes overloaded, you have what's called the circuit breaker. And the circuit breaker trips the power shuts off because it's overloaded.
Yeah.
So now he's comparing that. He's saying, I'm becoming so powerful that at some point I'm going to trip the circuit breaker and boom, I'm gonna be out of power.
Yeah.
He said you can only hold on to power for so long.
Yeah.
So he's doing a little bit of wordplay with it.
Stop tripping, I'm tripping off the power.
Stop tripping, I'm tripping off the power. He's like, I'm getting high off the power, but at the same time I'm getting overloaded, so at some point I'm gonna lose it.
我太有电了，
对
我电太强了，我可以一个小时，你们只有几分钟，
对
我会断电。
He's like, you guys are minute man, I'm an hour man, guys. Ladies, get at me.
The system broken, the schools closed, the prisons open.
Oh, and this one, he goes after the political and the socio-economic system of America. He says, the system broken, the schools closed, the prisons open. Just for those of you who may not understand what he's saying is this is a fucked up system because during the economic crisis, okay? Obama had just taken office and they were trying to reform the education system. So as a result, a lot of schools were being shut down, but more prisons were being opened. Private prisons were being opened. So he's like, this is fucked up. So he says that line and then he says,
We ain't got nothing to lose, motherfucker, we rollin'.
we ain't got nothing to lose, motherfucker, we rolling. So he's like, all right, if this is the situation we got nothing to lose, so it, we're gonna go all in. Rolling means it's almost like gang, like we're gonna go do this thing. Like, hey, let's roll out. Like, it's actually an old cowboy term. Whenever you have like each in the outside, they say, okay, let's roll out, right? You get your horses, everybody rolls together. Means you ride your horses together. You ever watch 变形金刚? That always says, Autobots, roll out.
Autobots, transform and roll out.
Same thing. means to ride together. We roll as a crew.
Then I embody every characteristic of the egotistic.
This is where it becomes, yeah, chill. He says, I embody every characteristic of the egotistic.
He knows he's so fucking gifted.
He knows he's so fucking gifted. So what he's saying is like, I am the very definition of an egotistical asshole. Meaning 我很有 ego, 我很秋。你把一个 dictionary 这个字典打开，你说秋是什么意思 ？Kanye 就是我在这边，哎，这是 me. He's saying every characteristic of an egotistical person I have.
Yeah.
And then the next line, he refers to himself in third person to even double down on this egotistical. It's like if you say, hey, limbe, ba, 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 ba. Every sentence you say, limbe, 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 right? Yeah. So that's why he says he knows he's so fucking gifted. So he's talking about himself in the third person.
Reality is catching up with me.
Then he carries on with this. He says, reality is catching up with me.
Taking my inner child, I'm fighting for custody.
Taking my inner child, I'm fighting for custody. In this, like I said, he had all these things happen. Yeah. People hated him, his mom died, he lost his fiance, and so right around that time, he was in his 30s. You know how it is when you're 30, you have to grow up. You want to try and hold on to those things that made you a kid, that made you carefree, but at the same time, it's like a battle, an internal battle, because you have to grow up, you have to take responsibility, but you don't want to lose that childlike quality of yourself that makes him so creative. So I like the way he compares it, because he says, taking my inner child, I'm fighting for custody.
监护权啊
That's about that to fight for custody is a custody battle. So he's like, I'm having custody going on internally. Right? I'm trying to fight for the inner kid, and the inner kid is leaving me at the same time. Because I have to grow up and be a man.
That's a good one.
That's good as fuck. His shit is really, really introspective, man. I like this shit a lot.
Really good one.
Then he keeps going.
With these responsibilities that they entrusted me.
With these responsibilities that they entrusted me.
As I look down at my diamond encrusted piece.
As I look down at my diamond crusted piece. This is deep, and I'll tell you why. You may have noticed in the song when he says, my diamond crusted piece. Literally, he deliberately mispronounces diamond as dying man.
At my diamond encrusted piece.
要死掉的人
Right.
Yeah.
And he says, encrusted piece. A piece is what you call your gun. This is reflective on the things that he was going through. And because he's bipolar, he actually talked about him having thoughts of him removing himself from the earth.
Yeah.
So when he says diamond and dying man, what he's equating is that he's so rich that he can afford diamonds, and the diamonds are encrusted on his piece, his gun.
Oh.
So his gun is a dying man's piece. So he's contemplating removing himself from the planet.
Oh, that's really, really good.
Yeah. I'm rich and I'm powerful, but all this pressure makes me want.
Oh,
I don't know if I can handle it. You know what I'm saying?
That's a really good one.
Dude, Kanye West is not one of those guys who just like rhyme. He actually like has meaning in what he's saying.
Oh,
like he's on another planet, dude. This was him at his greatest at that time. With this album, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, which is a up name for an album.
Yeah.
Like you even look at the album cover. You know what the album cover is?
Yeah.
We can't post it actually. So maybe we put a link down to it below. Ooh. But we can't show it because it's mosaiced out.
At the end of the day, god damn it, I'm killing this shit.
Alright, and then he goes back. I know we keep hammering on this, but his displays his bipolarness in this song. He's switching back and forth. Have you noticed? 1 minute and chill, and the next minute he wants to remove himself from the planet. So now he's back to his egotistical self in this one. He says, at the end of the day, god damn it, I'm killing this shit.
I know damn well y'all feeling this shit.
I know damn well y'all feeling this shit. So he's like, look, man, I'm the greatest alive. I'm dope as fuck. And you can criticize me, but you know I am. That's why you keep buying my shit. That's why you keep telling me you love me. You are enabling me to be this egotistical. Then in this, he switches back.
I don't need your pussy, bitch. I'm on my own dick.
I don't need your pussy, bitch. I'm on my own dick.
I ain't got a power trip. Who you going home with?
I ain't got a power trip. Who you going home with? So when he says, I don't need your pussy, bitch, I'm on my own dick. You remember in a couple episodes we talk about dick riding? Hold on, pa, right? Yeah. So he's saying like, well, I hold up my own dick. I hold up my own seafoods, okay? So I don't need you to tell me how great I am. I already know. Oh. He's creating the context of him being at a party where all the girls want him, and he's talking to this girl, and he's like, I don't need to sleep with you. Like, I don't need to prove myself to you. Because I know who I am. But at the same time, you coming home with me, right? That's what he says, like, I ain't got a power trip. who you going home with. So he's like, I don't need to say how great I am. You already know how great I am. So you going home with me, right? I'm the $1 1 hour man, baby.
How you doing? I'm surviving.
And then he flips it back to the dark side. He says, how ye doing? I'm surviving.
I was drinking earlier, now I'm driving.
I was drinking earlier, now I'm driving. So in this, because remember he disappeared, right? And everyone's like, is Kanye coming back? Is he okay? Right? He's like, yeah, I'm good, you know? But then he says, I was drinking earlier, now I'm driving. You don't drink and drive unless
you want to remove yourself.
Exactly, or you don't give a fuck. So during this period was a difficult time for him, and he made some amazing music.
He got issue.
He got issue. That's why his music's so good.
He got serious issue. People who last 1 hour got issue. Go see
Hey, don't hate on that, man. I'm one of those people. Do not hate. Sometimes, sometimes you want shit to last forever, bro. Come on. But yeah, this song I really like a lot, and it resonated with so many people in America because the song itself is not your typical hip hop song. He actually sampled a rock song. His music always defied the rules of what hip hop should be, what hip hop culture should be. He's the one that made it cool to wear Gucci, to wear stylish shit in a very not hip hop way. Like he would wear polo shirts and pop the collar. He's the one who had one of the highest selling shoes ever with the Yeezys. And as you can see in his lyrics, like he's struggling with things. He's willing to open himself up and show that he's just like, yeah, you think I'm on top, you think I'm the dopest fuck, but I got issues, bro. I got issues. So pay me. So out of this, there were a lot of bars. Which bar did you think was the most?
The diamond one.
As I look down at my diamond encrusted piece.
Yeah, I really like that one too. It says a lot about the position he's in, and that just because you have money doesn't mean you're happy. Like, everyone's got their problems. Everyone's suffering from something. So here's the thing that I really love about Kanye is he took electronic dance music culture, particularly house music culture, he infused it back into hip hop. Because back in the day, house music and hip hop were synonymous with each other. So house music started at the end of the death of disco. With the death of disco, you had disco music, right? Where disco was like dancing and it had primarily like Latin and gay and black crowds and whatnot. And at some point, America was like, no, disco. So disco got pushed out of the mainstream and into kind of the underground. And during that period, drum machine, so what people started to do, just like with hip hop, is they would take disco records, they would sample them, use heavier kick, 808. We talk about 808 cool for hip hop. House music also used 808 and used the 909 drum machine. And they would speed it up, and you could only hear this music at a warehouse in Chicago. It was called the Warehouse. Called it warehouse music. And then eventually it got shortened to house music. It's like a good hip hop and house music grew up together. In fact, house music is a little bit older than hip hop. But they are both have their roots in black culture. Whereas hip hop is more influenced by funk and jazz, house music is influenced by disco and funk as well. So what you had is you had a lot of hip hop artists, a lot of rappers who would cross over. You had what's called hip house. Hip house was house music with motherfuckers rapping on it.
Hip house is the new style that I created. All around the world are devastated by the hip, which is short for hip hop, and by the house, which is rising to the top.
Yeah, they would rap.
I'm about to get ill, so here's the deal. Pay close attention, cause I'm for real.
But whereas hip hop was more about an overall message, house music was more about a theme. It's just about overall vibe, and that vibe is stuck in the club. You know what I'm saying?
So hip hop is more like dirty talk. House is more like actually fun.
Sweet talk, yeah! And coincidentally, more girls like house music than hip hop music. Seriously. If you ever go to a club, especially in Taiwan, I have to say, Taiwan, whenever hip hop's going on, that guy 50%, the guys are like this. Right? They're mean mugging and shit. Because hip hop tends to be aggressive. Right? Not to say that male 女生喜欢, but if you flip it and you play a house music song, the girls say, oh my god, yeah! Right? They start dancing.
So 要把妹要去 house party.
Oh, for sure. That's where all the girls go. Seriously. That's why traditionally at parties, whenever you had like an event, They never 他们不会分音乐。It was like you have hip hop at the beginning from like 9点到12点12点半
Yeah.
And then 12点半1点你放 house 音乐啊 because people want to dance.
We done talking.
Yeah, we done talking.
dancing.
Let's start dancing, and then later, you know. But my background is actually with house music. I started as a house music producer, so for me, house has a special affinity in my heart. And right now, it's you're Liu Xi. Taiwan house music is starting to be pushed more and more. When we went to Coco, you know that club
Yeah.
Coco? We went to Coco. We met Lai P. We met those guys. Lai P or DJ Mr. Skin actually is a Red Bull 3 style champion.
Oh.
The dude can play.
Oh.
And most people, because Red Bull 3 style is associated with the hip hop music, most people think, well, he must be a hip hop DJ. No, that motherfucker can play house music as well, and he's been pushing the Taiwanese house music scene. And when we went to that Thursday night, dude, it was fucking badass. But he's been on the forefront of pushing the Taiwan house music scene. So yeah, a lot of you people may be curious about what house music is, what house music is about. If you would like for us to talk more about that, about house music culture, leave a comment down below. I highly suggest you check out House Music All Night Long at Coco Thursday nights. In fact, my black ass is gonna be there. 1月21at Coco Taipei, 1月22at Coco Kaohsiung. I will be playing house music and dropping Taiwanese house music bombs. Ladies, if you want to know what it means to go for 1 hour.
That's terrible.
Actually, that's wrong. It's 90 minutes. The typical set at Real Talk, it's 90 minutes. Here we go. Ladies, if you want to know what it's like to go 90 minutes with me, sweat, and beats, 4 on the floor, meet me there, 1月21at Coco Taipei. Yo, if you want to get on the guest list for 1月22at Coco House Music All Night Long, hit me up on the DMs. Ladies only, but boys, you can bring your girlfriend and she can get in free though.
Yeah.
Be there. It's gonna be dope as f. Let us know what you thought about this video in the comments down below. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Peace!